So we're going to start with our vocabulary lesson 2 words and meanings slideshow. We've already done this once, so if you remember, you're going to listen to the video and you're going to make your chart in your notebook, and you're going to write the word, the part of speech, and the definition. Okay, so we're going to start with our first word for today. Our first word is burden. Burden is a verb. Okay, and if you remember, a verb is a word that shows action or, describes. So to load or to oppress. Burden is like bringing you down. It's something that brings you down. So homework may burden you or load you down. If a family member is sick or upset, they can burden you. Okay, and the example the picture that I chose was this man with the ball with the little spark on the end, and he's trying to carry the big heavy ball, and it's weighting him down or loading him down. Our next word is resigned, and resigned is an adjective. Okay, and here's a little bit of a reminder on part of speech. Adjective is a word that describes. So it describes a noun, which is a person, place, or thing, or it describes a pronoun. And it means accepting as the inevitable, submitting passively. So a really good example that I would say that you're resigned to the fact is if your mom or dad said to you, you're allowed to go to the football game, but you have to come straight home and you can't hang out with your friends, and you go along with it even though you don't really agree with it, you would be resigned to that fact. And the picture that I chose was a resignation letter. He kind of is resigned, or he's accepting that he's quitting. Our next word is exhibit. An exhibit is a noun. Okay, noun are people, places, things, or ideas. And in this case, it's an exhibit can have a multiple or different meanings, but the word means a document produced and identified in court for use as evidence. So, and in my picture, I have Exhibit 1, arguments for and against CSR. And it gives us a list of those arguments that are for it or that approve of it, and those arguments that are against it. Okay, so exhibit can have multiple meanings. In this case, it's a noun, and it's a document produced and identified in court for use as evidence. Our next word is apathy. Apathy is also a noun, and it means lack of feeling or emotion, impassiveness. So if someone tells you something and you really don't have any emotion, or you don't get upset about it, you have apathy. Okay, you lack that feeling. And the picture that I chose said, I don't care. The next word is emerge. And emerge is a verb to come out in view. Remember, verbs are action words as well as words that describe. And in this case, emerge is an action verb. Okay, you can demonstrate coming into view. Like the man in the picture, he's coming out of the water. Or like the groundhog will emerge from his hole and show his shadow or not. Our next word is motive, and it's an adjective relating to motion or the cause of motion. This has to deal with energy, like we had in our sentence. It's energy that's caused or related to motion, and the picture I put was motive energy. Our next word is to, ceremoniously, courteous, to adapt. And it's a verb. It's something that you do. And in this case, if you comply, you go along with something, or you adapt to it. Even though you may not agree, you do it the way someone asks you to do it. So if you comply to what a teacher tells you, if they ask you to get up and go to your seat and you don't really want to, but you do it anyways, that would be to comply. Okay? To be courteous ceremoniously is to be respectful. And I put this picture of the comply verb, and it says the man didn't comply to the rules, got a ticket. So by not following the rules or not complying, he got the ticket. But as long as he was complying with the speed limit, he wouldn't get a ticket. Asset is our next word, and that's a noun. It's an item of value owned property. So if your parents have owned their house, that would be an asset. Your phone may be an asset to you because you own it, okay? And my picture shows money because a lot of times we think of asset, we think of money. My next word is neglected, and neglected is another adjective. It's a describing word, so it's going to describe a person, a place, or a thing, and it means to give little respect to disregard, okay? And as you look at my picture, you see the dog, and he's chained up, and he's all by himself, okay? So he's not given respect, or he's disregarded. Our next word is exotic, and it's an adjective. It means not native, it means foreign. So someone who would come from another country could be exotic, or some product that's imported from another country. Like if your clothing or your shoes or your car comes from another country, it would be exotic. It would not be native to America. It would be foreign. And the picture that I have is of an exotic place. Okay, so it's foreign, it's not in the United States. All right, acquire is our next word, and it's a verb. It's actually an action verb, and it means to gain knowledge or skills through effort. So by taking notes, by reading passages, by answering questions, you are gaining knowledge, okay? And that's an action verb, okay? So it's something you can do. And as you look and you see the picture, the little boy is gaining or acquiring knowledge from reading his book. Our last word is assess, and it means to estimate the quality, the ability, or the significance of. So when we give you a test, we assess your ability to answer questions like on simple subjects, simple predicates, on math problems. It might be on a part of history, and then we can rate you. And that's why I put this picture in excellent, good, average. Okay. So as you remember, you should have made your 4-column chart. You should have the word, the part of speech, the meaning, and some kind of symbol. And if at any time you didn't get something, then stop the video, rewind it, and make sure you please listen to it. Don't just click through the PowerPoint. And if you have any questions, please feel free to ask me.